Where were you in the Pacific?
Pearl Harbor. They asked me to go over and pick up a ship. I did and brought it to New Orleans. And then I got a hell out
What kind of ship was it?
LST.
And you took an LST from Pearl Harbor to New Orleans?
No, hell no. Yeah.
Did you go through the canal?
Yep. First time I ever saw the canal. It's hard to believe
At the end of
Marines behind that.
Rich, towards the end of his life, when he started talking to me about his time in the Navy, he was telling me, he was laughing, he said, he said, at the end of the war, he had been in the invasion of Okinawa, and he was out there, and they told him that he could have command of a ship. He, at that point, he'd been a torpedo officer, he'd been gunnery officer, and he'd been exec, and they told him he could have his own ship. And he said, Tom, you know why I never took that command? He said, if I'd taken it, you had to take the ship into San Diego. And he said, that's an awful harbor to have to go into. I decided I didn't want the glory of having my own ship if I had to go into San Diego. The only time he ever sunk another ship as a torpedo officer, it was an American ship, because there were 3 of them in the first day of the invasion of Okinawa, 3 in a row, and the Japanese concentrated their guns on the one in the middle, and for the other 2 ships to maneuver out, they had to, the Americans had to sink their own ship. They obviously got the men off, and he sunk it. He said, how do you think that would have looked in a political campaign?
Yeah.
Pryor sank his own American ship. Anyway.
All 3 of y'all didn't stick together, did you, when you went off?
Butch and
you and Butch and G. Did y'all leave at the same time and go to the same place?
No, hell no. I went to Chicago. They went to New York at different times. But oddly enough,
You went to Chicago.
went to Chicago 4 months. But oddly enough, Butch and Jeep, both in the Navy, V7. They were in the Pacific on a ship, and odd enough, were on one of the islands, and they were walking on the damn path in the island itself, and damn if they didn't pass each other. Now, how in the millions to 1 would you bet on that?
Yeah. What'd you find to do in Chicago?
Huh?
What did you find to do in Chicago?
Oh, goddamn, that was a great city. Great city. God damn, it's a great city. Yeah. They treat us like kings.
what was the naval facility in Chicago?
We were at Northwestern. They had turned over their
Okay.
city campus to the Navy.
I almost think that Zach Smith was there. I'm not sure. I remember Zach telling me one day about his Navy career.
Well, that was a good call we got from Jeep, too. And that's how we didn't have to go back. That was tough on those poor bastards coming back and after the war and trying to graduate, get in 1 more year and all. Damn, we were lucky. We were lucky.
We went back to Chicago for the Democratic convention that year,
Right.
you know. Jimmy Glenn let me run a limousine, and we thought it was free. Henry Hall Wilson got it for us. I got back to Pine Tops and got a bill for over $1,000.
You know, I was thinking about Henry Hall the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I lost contact altogether with any of his family.
I wonder where.
He's got a son, lawyer in Charlotte.
I didn't know that.
And
That's,
wasn't there a daughter too?
I don't know.
Yep.
that.
I'm not,
It was
I
a
think
daughter. I lost contact with all of them from Henry Hall on.
Sad sort of end of the life for Henry Hall. I mean, he sort of, went down very much at the end. Did that race for the U.S. Senator.
He was a great friend.
Oh, he really was.
Yeah, a great friend.
And Mary was a
Yeah.
really nice person too. All seems like yesterday.
Well, Phil, do you go to, you picked up a class you said you went to that don't learn how to make money or where you to put your money?
Where to put it mostly.
It was a good class?
Was
it worth it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The laws have changed so much now on the inheritance stuff, the inheritance taxes, state one way, federal the other. Of course, now under this Republican crowd, they did away with North Carolina inheritance taxes last year, so it's not a problem here anymore. But of course, you got such a big family, you just have to do it right, or you can mess it up.
Yeah, I think Graham tells me what I can do legally. That's what he and he keeps up of it like you do.
He's your lawyer, like you would have used to be the lawyer.
Right. He keeps up what I can do legally. And I said, well, what about illegal? He said, that might mess us up.
Yeah.
I said, if y'all got some deeds and I got cash, can I give it to you? He said, no. You've done what you can do this year. And it's not worth taking the chance. I don't.
Well, there was some fear that Obama was going to drop that cap down.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he ain't going to drop anything down now for the next 2 years. So I don't think you'll see any big changes right away. In fact, this Congress would do away with it if it was left up to them.
Incidentally, Graham, I meant to tell him, Graham, your friend, he does a hell of a job. He's got a lot on his plate.
Oh, he's a businessman, and I know.
He's got 1,200 employees. Damn, I meant to tell that new girl from the new chair of the party, and I forgot to. Damn, he's building a motel up there. Hilton Garden.
Yeah, that's going to have a restaurant.
That's it, whatever.
Andy Sales told me that.
It's going to be in Asheville?
Yep. And they said it's a hell of a location.
So you're not just doing Hampton Inns?
We couldn't do it. We had the rest of them Hampton Inns. But they were already loaded there and they couldn't put one. So that was his next bet, was Hilton Garden.
I like those. I like Hilton.
Oh, yeah, I've been to
120, 30 beds or whatever.
Does the 1,200 employees, is that both oil company and
yeah,
the motel?
Everything on the payroll.
Yeah.
I happened to ask him the other day how many he had on the payroll.
He will answer your questions, won't he? He will answer your questions, won't he?
Yeah. But he does a good job with it.
I know he does.
He keeps a lot of balls bouncing.
He's a great fellow.
And new ways to diversify. Yeah, he's in 2 or 3 different things besides the oil business, which I think he enjoys. I think he enjoys working.
I think he does too.
I do too. I think he enjoys problems and work and pressure. Good thing he does.
I told him he and I ought to buy a house in Raleigh sometime,
But as you all live with your own young'uns, I often think, I've got friends, and you all have too, that have had such hard luck with their young'uns. And I was thinking the other day of my 8 and 17 grandchildren, I think 3 great-grandchildren. Damn, how fortunate people can be, including me. And people want to be like Donald Trump and all that goes with it.
Yeah.
Well, how fortunate this turn of events and family can turn out. Takes a hell of, well, shit. Take the shit. Oh, one of my kids one time, he was giving him hell. And he turned to me and said, "Granddaddy, what'd you do at my age?" I said, "I'd take the 5th. She was on his ass again about a month later. She said, "Answer me, Parker." He said, "I'd take the 5th. That was Ann on her 15, 14-year-old kid. Ann bought John's business.
Yeah, you told me that.
London.
Yeah.
And she likes it.
She
Good.
does a
I don't
really
think
good
she would
job
be
at it.
happy otherwise.
She does a
without
really,
working.
really good job.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be happy if she wasn't working.
Well, it must have grown up right.
Yeah, she's,
We've got wives that are expecting us.
Yeah, we better go.
Well, you know, in my